When we are faced with obstacles, sometimes the very first thing we want to do is throw our hands up in the air, go back to our comfort zones. But the thing about comfort is that it can become a stagnation for growth. Hello, family and friends, brothers and sisters, and fellow achievers. Welcome to another episode of Kwadwo Speaks. I am so excited to share this moment with you, and I hope that you've had a beautiful and a lovely week. And I pray that wherever you are right now, may blessings and goodwill find you. Today, I want to talk about obstacles and why obstacles is the way. When we think about obstacles, the first thing that comes to mind is any sort of blockade that stands between us from where we are right now to where we need to get to. When we look at Webster's dictionary, Webster simply states obstacle is something that impedes progress or achievement. Everyone has their own definition of what obstacles is. When they are faced with obstacles, some people will say, oh, there goes the enemy of progress. Others will say the devil is at work. And others will just simply say, I guess it ain't meant to be. Today, I want to say something different about obstacles. Obstacles is the way. Obstacles is something that we need to make progress and make achievements. Now that we've seen what obstacles is and how everybody has their own definition, what do we do when we are faced with obstacles? It's quite simple. First, we view our obstacles for exactly what it is, nothing more, nothing less. Secondly, we do something about it. We take action. Action is the beginning of change. And thirdly, we persist and we persevere. These are the three important things we have to remember about obstacles and how we can use them to our own advantage. See, when I think about obstacles, it takes me back to the year 2009 up to 2013. This was during my undergrad years. Around the same time, the housing market issues was going on, and staying home wasn't really the best option. So I went to school. I went to school not knowing what I wanted to do. I just wanted to go to college. Didn't want to stay home. And even when I got to college, I had multiple obstacles to face. I had the obstacles of adjusting to a new environment. I had the obstacles of picking the right major. I had the obstacles of not failing courses. And there were multiple obstacles that also went on. But amongst all of these obstacles, the one thing that showed up the most was paying for school, finding a way to pay for school. Luckily for me, there was FAFSA. But the issue is that FAFSA couldn't really contain it. It couldn't work for me all the time. So whilst I'm in school, I have to focus on my studies. I also have to find a way to make money to pay for school. Therefore, I found myself doing an RA job. I also did fire assistant, public safety assistant. I was a math tutor. I mean, I tried anything to get my hands on money to help me. And some way, somehow, I was able to make it through all the way up to my junior year. My junior year is when I faced some of the biggest obstacles. I just couldn't qualify for FAFSA anymore, so this was a problem. At this point, I was majoring in computer science and mathematics. I couldn't register for one computer science degree. Therefore, if I really wanted to graduate with both degrees, I had to wait a whole new semester. And because of this, I had to shift my graduation date a semester after my expected graduation date. But you know, what I did when I was faced with that obstacles, I said, nope, I'm still gonna power through. I just focused on my mathematics degree and I made sure that I graduated on time. So when I graduated on time, I was like, okay, well, I guess I could finish my computer science degree after I've graduated. Therefore, I need to look for a job. And trust me, this was another obstacle on its own. Finding a job wasn't easy back then. I would go upon multiple interviews after interviews, and the thing that I would keep asking me is that, do you have a computer science degree? I'll say no. Do you have a computer science degree? I'll say no. Do you have a computer science degree? I'll say no, but I just need one more course to get the degree. They didn't care. They just kept on rejecting me and rejecting me and rejecting me. It was so disheartening. But eventually, I got a 1 yes. I persisted. I got 1 yes, and once I got 1 yes, everything just changed for me. I finally got a job. So I told myself that, I'm going to work on my job, then I'm going to finish my computer science degree. Therefore, I'm doing two things at a time. And eventually, I found a course online, took my last computer science degree, and I was done. It felt so good. I was able to come through this obstacle. Now, you may think that, okay, those obstacles are done, right? Everything is finished. No. Now, this is the next level of that obstacle. Finding a way to actually pay my student loans. Isn't it so funny? The thing about obstacles is that it never ends. They always show up. But the thing is this, it makes us better. It strengthens us. You see, back in 2009, I went through this ordeal not knowing I have all these gifts within me. I have strength. I have perseverance. I have determination. But when I was faced with the obstacle of going to college, graduating college, finding a way to pay for my college bills, and once I was done getting a job, it made me much wiser. It made me much stronger. It made me prepared to be in the next stage I needed to be in my life. And this is what obstacle does for us. Obstacles is the way. If I had not gone through what I went through in my college experience, I wouldn't have become the person I am now. It gave me opportunity for me to grow, and obstacles serves as a way for growth. Bob Marley said, give me the food and let me grow, and that is what obstacles does for us. We are meant to grow. Nothing stays stagnant. A child that crawls on his feet eventually will walk. A tadpole will eventually become a frog. A cocoon will eventually become a butterfly. We are meant to grow, and the only way for us to grow is through obstacles. When we are faced with obstacles, sometimes the very first thing we want to do is throw our hands up in the air, go back to our comfort zones. But the thing about comfort is that it can become a stagnation for growth. A castle, as you know, serves as a place of safety. But let that castle be surrounded, it will eventually become your prison. And that's the way life is. Sometimes when we are in a place of comfort where everything is okay and we don't want any changes, we get so used to it. But staying in that place for too long will eventually become the thing that is holding us back. And that's why I say that obstacles is the way. Obstacles is the way to get to the next stage in our lives. Obstacles is the way to persist. Obstacle is the way to grow. Obstacles is the way to become better. And no matter what happens, I want you to understand this one thing. The next time you're faced with an obstacle, I want you to look at it square in the face. Take it for what it is. And I want you to boldly take your first steps of action. You cannot control the obstacles that happens to you, but you can control how you perceive it. You can control your judgments. And I want you to take your action. And I want you to persist and persevere, because obstacles is the way.